Okay, there must be some way to solve your problem.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
Perhaps, have you tried wooing Gainer? Ah, perhaps I could talk to Gainer for you.
I suppose you could, but what good would that do? The situation hasn't changed.
Why not go into the forest anyway? Because he might die. Have you tried wooing Gainer? I can be pretty persuasive.
Really? I'm willing to try anything.
Oh, it can't hurt.
Cyranas, oh ma Cyranas, I will pray to the goddess of love that you are successful.
How do they move these things through the forest? Do the trees just get out of their way, or what?
You mean, oh, the Aravels, the land ships. Oh my goodness, they actually built like a ship. Actually kind of built like a ship with a hull, aren't they? You'd think it'd be more kind of like the reverse of that, and be more like a caravan, like a kind of how you imagine a gypsy caravan, which is kind of like a ship upside down, almost.
Under Annotation, Grey Warden.
Lanaya.
My name is Lanaya. I am Zathrian's first, what you might call an apprentice, perhaps. I've been studying under the Keeper all my life. I am a bit curious of the outside world. Do you mind if I ask you a question or two?
You just asked me. You just asked me a question right there.
What an odd thing to say. I mean about the outside world, of course.
That's my normal reaction when people ask if they can ask a question. Do I look like I'm here to entertain you? Or I answer it in such a way as to not actually answer the question, to make the point that you can ask any question you want, but I don't have to answer it. Beware beware Q&As if ever I do them. No, I'd probably actually answer questions properly, he says. If you like, go ahead.
I hear the human cities are very large. Thousands upon thousands of souls, all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
Yes, some are larger than the eyes can see. Why don't you go and see a city for yourself? Well, I mean, she's got to look after the clan, hasn't she? So yes, some are larger than the eye can see.
How very loud that must be with everyone talking all at once. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
They're used to it, just as humans are. And your way is better? Well, of course you say yes. He's probably seen elves around Highever. And we know that there's been a disturbance in Denerim. So, well, it seems that it isn't an easy life for them. That's true.
I suppose you have met many of my kind in your travels. My heart goes out to them. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have a question, if it's not too impolite to ask. Do your people regret what they did to ours?
We don't pay much attention to it. It's history. You don't think your people were partly responsible? Some of us do, not all humans are the same. That one's slightly more kind of pointed. And I think if Gaheris knew her better, he might be tempted to ask that and make it more of a kind of... Well, from my perspective, it'd be kind of a philosophical debate and everything. But I think Gaheris would see it as a kind of a... You're saying it's all our fault, aren't you, a little bit? But I think he kind of regrets that it was just a straight-up exalted march. Regardless of if the humans are completely to blame, I think he would regret it. So some of us do. Not all humans are the same.
I see. That is difficult for our people to accept. Even if only some were in favor of what was done to us, the rest did nothing to stop it. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
I'm not savage or pretty. so I don't fit that last bit. What can you tell me about Zathrian? I keep hearing, like, oh, he's old and powerful. Probably because he's old and powerful, I'm guessing.
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
He lost his family a very long time ago. I don't know the story, but I understand the circumstances were horrific.
Why are the Dalish so hostile? Probably because the humans beat up the people in the attacked the Exalted March, which I'm guessing is kind of like a far more, an organised version of a crusade. I don't think there's ever really been a properly organised crusade. Like, in history. You get this, like, yeah, we should do it, and then loads of people go, but I don't think it's particularly well organised. Maybe my history's a little rusty. Might be. But, yeah, why are the Dalish so hostile?
They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless.
Okay. What about the Dales, though?
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan. The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew. They called it the Long Walk. They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile.
But I'm not responsible for what's been done to the elves.
Aren't you? You're human. And to many of them, you represent the humiliations our people have suffered for generations. You may not have been personally responsible, but such feelings are not easily overruled by logic or fairness.
It reminds me of a bit by Ed Byrne about airlines losing your luggage. And he says, okay, so you get off the plane and you go to the customer service at the airport and you start blaming this person. And it's like, no, I think he's actually talking about it as a kind of personal situation. I'm blaming this person who's at the desk, and she's got the perfect alibi. She was in a completely different country. The thing is, she's wearing the right uniform, and I think that's kind of how they see it. You're human. You're the right race for me to blame you. You've got a perfect alibi for not being in, not having anything to do with us being kicked out the Dales because you hadn't been born yet. But we're still going to blame you. I wouldn't act like them. I would change things. Act like who? I mean, that's the thing. Is he talking about the? I think no. I think he would say that. I would change things. I mean, he's the last of the Kuslands. This has been said. Game. And so yeah, I would change things.
Oh, that is easy to say when you are not a homeless wanderer of a broken people.
Oh.
It's all we can do to cling onto our past now. Perhaps this may change one day, but I believe the humans would have to take the first steps.
Oh, that's what I was saying. I was saying that if I were you, I'd change something. Okay. Is there a way to get on the clan's good side?
It requires an individual to prove he is not the outsider we have come to expect. Your own task to help our clan is certainly a step in the right direction. Okay.
Because I think what I thought it might have been is I wouldn't be like the humans, because I couldn't remember what I'd asked. I wouldn't be like the humans. I'd do something about it. I would. But what I said was, I wouldn't be like the elves. I'd do something about it. Which is slightly different. Because I think he would, like, offer them some land. Like, this is land that, as part of the Turnia, I think it is. As part of the, it is still part of the Turnia of Highever, but it belongs. But it's in it belong. Yeah, but the Dalish are free to use it, and it is theirs. That kind of thing. I don't know. I want to ask something else.
Certainly.
Can I ask something else? Tell me about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
Oh, how did you come to the Dalish if you're so long? And where is she from? What part of the humans is she from? Is she from a particular city? Is it a Ferelden city? I mean, because if it's However, then that's a link into the human noble, and that could be something that I talk about or whatever. I don't know. How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes.
Not However then.
One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
That's yeah, how bad could it be? Pause! Servant, pause. I'm sorry, it must have been very terrible. I mean, for all that could be anything. I don't know. But the pause is off-putting. I'm sorry, it must have been very horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
They rescued you from the bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Interesting. So he lost, but this is the thing, is he's lost someone, and he has gone out with a fury and a vengeance to deal with them. Okay. So he's vengeful. Angry. Interesting. I wonder what happened when he lost his family. Let's get back to the game rather than our pondering about it. Didn't you have family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me. The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
Kind of similar to Alistair. You never know what you'll get. How did you become a keeper? She's not a keeper, she's the first. Oh, I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shiro.
Silver-tongued. I don't know what that does. It's probably some new thing. Ooh, Arlathan Part 1. Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their traditions, strong in their roots, and ever reaching for the sky. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction could last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into centuries-long slumber. But this was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in dreams. In those ages, our people called all the land Elvenan, which is the old tongue means place of our people. And at the centre of the world stood the great city of Arlathan, a place of knowledge and debate, where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge, greet old friends, and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But while our ancestors were caught up in the forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we today would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside the lush forests and ancient trees were changing. The humans first arrived from Par Vollen to the north, called Shemlin or Quicklings by the ancients. The humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brash and warlike, quick to anger and quicker to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human diseases and, for the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with humans found themselves aging, tainted by the humans' brash and impatient life. How does that make sense? How does that work? I know, I'm sure we've read something about this before, but how does this make sense? Just, yeah. Oh no, I've spent too much time with you. I've caught mortality. No. That doesn't make sense. Many believe that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives and cast them down among the quicklings. Our ancestors came to look upon the humans as parasites, which I understand is similar to the way that the humans see our people in the cities. The ancient elves immediately moved to close Elvenar off from the humans, for fear that this quickening effect would crumble the civilization. I think the way I would have played it is elves would do this kind of sleep thing, which would keep them alive in theory. But as they spent more time with humans, they stopped doing that for one reason or another, and that's why they started dying. That's how I would have played it, because I think that makes far more sense than just, oh, they die now. Why? This sense no make. Yeah, we're not going to loot anything because that'll get us into trouble. So you're Gainer. I said I'd talk to you. You have red hair. You're awesome.
I'm Darren Atishan, outsider.
You are Gainer, correct? Cameron mentioned you.
You spoke to him? What did he say?
He said that if he was lucky he would bed you soon. No. He said that you refused to give him your hand.
Oh. I don't expect an outsider to understand our ways, but I just can't bond with Kamen. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to slay a proper beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I?
Oh, that's an interesting thing. What would Gahira say? That is an interesting question. So he's a nobleman. Then again, he's in love with Liliana. So I can't really... Now, of course, Liliana was kind of in some way adopted by an Orlesian lady. One could argue. And technically, at the moment, he has no title. So they are of equal rank. In theory. Kind of. Depending on how you look at it. That's got so many qualifiers. I think it's also... I can't really... I don't think Gaheris would want to step on this culture. He needs them. He can't just say, okay, go for it. Because that might undermine the whole... No, I don't suppose you could.
He will get over it in time. It hurts me to see him like this, but just tell Kamen I am sorry.
Oh, Kamen's lament. She waits again, but when able to change her mind, she thinks he's a child and refuses to consider him until he completes his hunt. Okay. I think we're gonna have to be a bit sneaky, but okay. So we'll chat with him.
Oh, what do you want now? I told you everything already.
Okay. I spoke to Gainer for you.
You did? What did she tell you?
She said that she'd never marry you. She said that she couldn't marry you.
Nor would I have expected differently. But thank you for trying. Until I complete my hunt and become a true hunter, it shall never be.
Okay. What if I get a pelt for you? I was wary of doing this before, because that's kind of being kind of a bit cheeky. But if I'm going to get a pelt anyway, if I find a pelt anyway, I may as well give him one.
No, I couldn't do that. I must kill the beast myself. It is my rite of passage to become a full hunter.